This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Trevor's with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're doing for our Friday MLB games. But of course, let's do a quick recap. For our show yesterday, we did Tobias over, I believe, 3.5 strikeouts. We successfully faded Mackenzie Gore. We were hesitant on doing Jacob deGrom under strikeouts. So to recap, deGrom, the first time, his first start, we went under, and he hit his under. The second time he had a start, we went under again, and he exceeded it. So we're trying to figure out if old Jakey is back or if he's not. But his line, I believe, yesterday was, I don't know if it was 6.5 or 7.5, but regardless, he hit both either line because he only got 6 strikeouts. He was pulled at, I think, 5.1 innings pitched. So it's still something to monitor. I mentioned on yesterday's show, we need to see 2 consecutive games of him going under before we touch him again. So his next start, if he goes under, then we can start considering him for under strikeouts. But what we did lock in was Tobias over 3.5. Now, of course, anytime I say anything and you guys put your hard-earned money on it and it doesn't work out, of course I take full blame. I don't ever sometimes it's something most of the time it's outside of my control. Manager pulls somebody early, or he keeps somebody in too long, or the pitcher sneezes when he throws a pitch and grand slam is belted off of it. There's many things we can't control. But what we can control, which would have helped us out yesterday, is paying more attention to the IL. IL is the injured list. For whatever reason during yesterday's show, I wasn't factoring in that this was his first start from injury. I don't think that mattered too much because his injury was essentially like a quad injury, so it wasn't like upper body. It wasn't part of his throwing arms or his muscles up here, and he was only on the IL for a short stint. But still, there's a rule that we must follow. Same thing with pretty much any sport. Same thing with NBA and basketball leagues as well, where moving forward, the main focus is to never play a player playing their first game coming off whatever list the league calls their they got a boo-boo, the hurt list, the injured list for baseball. So if we focus on moving forward, we shouldn't run into the problems we had yesterday. Now, he didn't get pulled early. He just didn't have a good game. I think he got pulled before he pitched 5 full innings, or maybe at 5 full innings. But he had a lot of opportunities for strikeouts. He had a lot of 2-strike counts. But his problem is his location was just horrible. And I don't think that has anything to do with his injury. I just think he actually might suck. So we're definitely not immediately putting him on the ban list. We're not going to be playing him next time. I want to see what he does first. But he walked almost everybody, it seemed like. He got 2-strike counts, and then the batters were like, oh, this guy sucks, and they wouldn't swing on pitch, 7 to get a walk on a full count, or pitch 6, whatever. But yeah, anywho, let's see what we can find here. I'm rocking my NBA 2K League Magic Gaming shirt. I got my Orlando Magic hat with the one that's got all the autographs on it. I'm hoping that we don't get swept. I don't think this team is going to win an NBA final. I have a good chunk of change on them to win an NBA final, and I'll win a very good chunk of change if they do. But this Magic team, I don't think there's ever been a team to make the NBA finals that was the worst 3-point shooting team in the league since 3 points were added. And the fact that they were the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, we can see it. Franz is 100% from the free throw line these playoffs. 100%. He is shooting something like 9% from deep. We can't shoot threes. We need to get Trae Young in the offseason. We need to get Klay Thompson in the offseason. And we also need a better big man because Wendell Carter Jr. is not it. I was looking at who's going to be a free agent. Miles Turner, currently of the Pacers, free agent, unrestricted free agent. Miles Turner, Klay Thompson, and Trae Young. Trae Young's probably going to have to be a trade. I think he's still technically on the team. He's not an unrestricted free agent. Anyway, I just don't want to get swept. Because if you lose 4 games in a row or you go to game 7 and lose, you're going to have the same draft pick either way. So our draft stock is not changing whether we get swept or whether we win a few games. So we might as well win a few for pride's sake. I just don't want to get swept. And the fact that we couldn't beat Tatum or couldn't beat a Tatum-less Celtics team, very disheartening. But again, Celtics are defending champs for a reason. Any poop. Let's see what we can find here. Yesterday, we had just a handful of games. I think we have a lot more today. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got. Yeah. So typically Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are legit slates, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of the shorter ones. Oh, for our spread predictor, for a recap. So I posted this in our MLB VIP channel in Discord, so you can see the graphic there. I'll put it up on screen as well. We had a short slate. We still won more than we lost game-wise, but when we put these graphics together, so the graphic I'm going to have up on screen here, you see it's day 1, the first day of our new spread predictor model, day 2, day 3. There's a few things that we're learning by putting things side by side and looking at it. So the notes that I made in Discord were if you just looked at the top 2 picks for the first 3 days, it's 6-0. So the top 2 picks have not lost. And then I also said I went beyond that and I looked at, okay, what is the lowest percentage that is still undefeated? So on the graphic, the percentage is the AI's projected probability of that spread hitting. So of course, we list the higher ones on the top, the lower ones on the bottom. It has to be higher than 50.00 because otherwise it's not choosing either side. Once it gives 50.01 to a side, that means it's leaning towards that. It's barely leaning towards that. But to note, every single play that had a AI probability percentage of 63.98 or higher, as you see in the graphic, is 11-0. So that is currently the lowest percentage that has not lost yet. And then after today's many games, we'll look at that again, and that might be what we look at. That might be the magic formula, if you will, is let's only look at 63.98% or higher because that has not lost yet. So we're just going to keep tracking this stuff as we go along and see how things go. But let's see what we can find on MLB strikeouts, which is my favorite stat because I will die on the hill of it being the easiest thing for the AI to predict. And we are very, very profitable this very short season. We've only been, a month now of baseball. We're hitting, I think it's 70% of our things we mentioned on show. So yeah, definitely profitable with pitching strikeouts. We're going to stick to that. We're going to go to our filters and do what we always do. 317. There are a ton of people here, so let's see what we got. The first things first, let's start eliminating players that are not fitting the trifecta, and then we'll look at more advanced data. But first check is the trifecta check. Does he have a 1.0 higher difference than the sportsbook's favorite? Yes. 1.3 difference between the AI and the line. Sportsbook's favoring the same side. Go down to Chris. Yes. Senga. Yes. Lugo. Yes. Freeland. No. No. Okay. So for overplays, it stops at Lugo. So there's 4 players that have an over trifecta. So now let's look at under trifectas. Yamamoto, yes. Ben, yes. Okay, so there's 2 unders and 4 overs. So we have 6 people that fit the trifecta. And now we're going to look at more advanced data to find out which of those 6, whether we find 1, 2, or 3, or whatever, trying to look for the main one. Which of those 6 makes the most sense based on looking at them. So let's start with the overs first. Let's look at Colin here. Chicago Cubs have been a lot better this season than normally. This guy's on his 6th start. His first start against Arizona. This is not really a start. This looks like he came in relief. Yeah, because he only threw for 1 out. So Arizona game doesn't count. These can't be starts. Yeah, these are okay. So these first 3 games are not starts. How do we tell that? Is because he has 3 innings pitched, 0.1 innings pitched. That's why we put this the data on the bars so you can see what's going on here. So he had 3.2 innings pitched, 4.2 innings pitched. And he got 5 Ks in 3.2. So he's getting higher than a K per inning. And he hit against the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks here. But this is really weird, though. How Chicago Cubs have been using him. This is... I don't think I've seen this... I haven't seen this season yet. I don't want to keep flashing a bunch of different things on the screen, so I'm just pulling it up on my phone here. Even though we have the information on the screen. So... Okay, so... Yeah. To confirm, he did start the last 2 games against the Dodgers and the Cardinals, or not Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. So he started those 2 games and he got 5 strikeouts in each. 3.2 innings pitched in the first one, 5 innings pitched, or 4.2 in the second one. Only gave up 1 run in each game. He did not start the first 3 games of the season, so those we're not going to factor in. That's a lot of why this is red, because he came in relief in these first 3 games, and now they're giving him a chance to start. So it looks like they're essentially warming him up. They're giving him the opportunity to stay in for 3.2, and they're like, okay, we're going to give you more innings the next time. And they give him a full other inning at 4.2. So now I feel like there's a chance he can get 5 full innings or more now that he's ramped things up. Let me check his pitch count as well. So pitch count is something that we're going to be adding to the screen shortly. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But let me see here. I don't think he was pulled for pitch count. Anyway, he wasn't pulled for giving up a ton of things. So his pitch count in the first 2 starts was 68 and 69. But in 60, roughly, so 68.5 is the average. In 68.5, on average, he's gotten 5 Ks both times. And he just needs to get 4 to hit. Yeah, I don't know. This is weird. So you see here, mid-July all the way till early September, early September last year, he had a ton in a row of getting 4 strikeouts or more because he was starting. And then he had some relief stuff going on here, opened the season as a relief pitcher, and now he's getting opportunity to start. Statistically speaking, I tell you guys, the thing that we look for, one of our minimum things, is that this number for righties and lefties, because you're never going to verse a batting lineup that's all righties or all lefties. So I like to look at both of them. And if this number is 20 or higher, 20% or higher, it's nice. He's got 21.4 on both sides. So that's nice. But we have 6 people to look at, and I'm hesitant that the most that they've allowed him to pitch is 69 innings. 69 pitch count. Let me look at, I'm going to pull up last year real quick. Like I said, I don't want to just click a bunch of things on the screen. I want to see. So yeah, his last start of the season against the Mets here, where he got 5 strikeouts and 5.2, he got up to 5 or over 100 pitches, 106. Plenty of times last year. 2 in the previous month, 100 plus pitches. In the 90s, in the late 90s, mid 80s. So yeah, when they let him start, he's got a history of starting, but I think what they're doing is they're warming him up to pitch longer into the longer into the game. This is a pause for right now. We're going to pause on Colin. Let's look at the next ones. Chris. This man, he's got strikeout stuff. This guy's typically in his prime. This would have been like always a 7.5 line. Dating back to last season, you see here, tons of consecutive hits. The first start of this season, 7 Ks in 5 innings, 5, 5, 7, 8. So he hasn't got less than 5. When's the last time he got less than 5? Late August of last year, only 4. And that was in the last 20 games. He's only got less than 5 twice. So he's 18 for 20 of getting at least 5 or more. And we just need him to get 6 here. He's projected at 7.49 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's go to the numbers here. 30%, 20%. As I mentioned, we want this number to be 20 on both sides. He hits that bare minimum on the lefties. We're going to pause on that one and see if there's anything we like more as we continue to go down. Senga, I believe Washington is one of the teams that's not striking out a lot. We'll see that when we go to the next tool. But the fact that he hasn't got this in 4 starts, he's only hit this once. His line movement's crazy as well. It started at 4.5, went to 5.5. Now it's back to 4.5. I mean, he hasn't got less than 4, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like that recent history. Against Washington, last year, 7 Ks and 5 Ks. So he hit both times against his starts against Washington last year, which are in the same division. So he's going to be versing them often. I'm pretty sure Houston's not a strikeout-friendly team. But this guy has had 5 starts already this season, and he's hit this 3.5 line in 4 out of 5. So that's interesting. That's nice. He's able to get upwards of 8 plus, 9 here, 10 here. But the problem is, we go down here, righties 22.5%, lefties 14.8%. You can see that on screen when I'm referring to that, right? Yeah, okay. I had to go back and forth to make sure I'm actually scrolling up high enough. So yeah, Seth Lugo doesn't have the 2020 that we look for. So now, let's quickly look at the 2 unders. Ben Lively, this guy pitched at UCF, and I actually currently have him on my fantasy baseball team. He can be really, really good or really, really bad, and there's never an in-between. And it looks like this season, he starts off so good. He'll have like a no-hitter in the 3rd inning, and he'll have like a couple strikeouts, and then it'll just go off the rails in like the 4th or the 5th. So we're looking at under, and his lefties is 16.3. His righties is barely above 20. He's only hit this line once in this season, once in his last 10 starts. Holy crap, look at this. The last time, so Kansas City, he hit 5. The last time was mid-August. Look at all of these consecutive starts of not getting at least 5 Ks. And we're going under 4.5. So you see the over-under? The sportsbooks don't favor either side. They're indifferent. Over-under is the same. Let me actually look at FanDuel real quick. Yeah, FanDuel doesn't have an either side. Yeah, all of the sportsbooks are literally identical on not favoring either way. But it's interesting that we go under on him because he literally sucks at getting 5 strikeouts against Boston. So, okay, so we have to check out Boston. And then we look at Yamamoto. He's got a high line. It's nice to go under on high lines, but typically somebody has a high line because they have what we call the strikeout stuff. His line started at 6.5. It's now moved up to 7.5 in our favor. So we give an extra strikeout bonus. He's got 5 starts this season. He's hit this line in 3 of the 5, but he's got strikeout stuff. I mean, 3 starts so far this season. He's got a 9 and 2 10s. So he's wheeling and dealing. But that's not something he's not consistently hitting 8. This is his last 20 dating back to May of last year. So what I want to do now is let's look at our next tool. So the ones we can potentially consider is Yamamoto, Lively under. So against Boston, against Pittsburgh. I'm hesitant on Colin because I need to see the manager lets him pitch like an actual 90 pitches or more before we touch him. He's just got so much. He's only in his 2 starts this season, 68 and 69. And yes, he's got 5 strikeouts both of those times, so clearly has some strikeout capability. But we don't need to force that. There's too many other things we're looking at. So Colin Ray we're going to pause on that for today. We're going to see what he does, see what his pitch count gets up to before he gets pooled. And so the 2 overs we're considering is Senga and Sale. And the 2 unders is Yamamoto and Ben Lively. So the first, Arizona, Washington, Boston, and Pittsburgh. Arizona, Washington, Boston, Pittsburgh. Okay. Arizona and Washington are the overs. Arizona is the 4th least strikeoutiest team, and Washington is the 5th least strikeoutiest team. So both of those overs are versing the least strikeoutiest teams. Washington only struck out one time in their last game. That is insane. Arizona only struck out 5 times in their last game, and they both have been doing better than their season average in their last 3. 6.33 compared to 7.38, 5.33 compared to the 7.42. And then the unders we were looking at was Boston, which is the 4th most strikeoutiest team. 10.67 over the last 3, 12 in the last 1. And who was the other one? I already forgot. Pittsburgh. So Lively is versing a team that is striking out a ton. Keep in mind that the sports books, one of the trifecta checks, which Ben Lively technically isn't a trifecta, is that the sports books favor the side. Sportsbooks aren't favoring either side, so technically that's not a trifecta. So and he's also versing a team that's striking out double digits in the past 3 games. So we're not going to touch Ben. We're going to look at Pittsburgh. That's the team I forgot to look at. And the problem with the 2 overs is that Arizona and Washington are the least strikeoutiest teams, top 5 least strikeoutiest teams this season. I'm going to look at Philadelphia as well. I know I'm not a huge fan of the Colin Ray 68 pitches, but we'll look at Philly and Pittsburgh now. Okay, so Philly, we're looking for over, and they're right in the middle of the pack here. They're at 17, 8.24. They're trending higher, 9.33 over the last 3 games, and 7 in the last game they played. Pittsburgh is 9th most, but they are trending under. They average 9 for the season, but they have 7.67 in their last 3 and 8 in their last 1. So this Pittsburgh isn't alarming. The fact that they're trending under is nice because we would be targeting the under with Yamamoto. So it's either Yamamoto under 7.5 or Colin Ray over 3.5. But again, I don't like the fact that Colin, we need to see him pitch. Like, even if he only gets 60 pitches again, if he's striking out, getting 5 Ks, then that's fine. But you want to put yourself in the best chance to win. And if he's not getting a full 5 innings, I need a pitcher to get a full 5 innings before we lock them in. So yeah, I think I'm very interested in watching this game. We're not gonna lock this in. I mean, you can if you want to, it's your money, but we're not gonna lock this in. But I'm interested to see what happens here, specifically with this pitch count. I'm not too worried about if he only gets 4 strikeouts or if he even gets 3 strikeouts, as much as is he getting more pitches before he gets pulled. And then our other one was Yamamoto 7.5. So let's look at that one more time. Again, Pittsburgh, were they like 10th most, but they're trending under. Yamamoto, the last 2 games, he's averaged 9.5. Chicago and Texas, his line went from 6.5 to 7.5. Chicago and Texas, where are they at? So he just got 9 and 10 against Chicago, Cubs, and Texas. Let me look at those real quick. Chicago Cubs in the middle of the pack on strikeouts, trending upwards. Texas is like top 7, trending upwards. So 9.67. And he's versing Pittsburgh, who are trending downwards. So we focus on the last 3. The Cubs and Texas are top, what is this, 8? So the 2 teams you just got 9 and 10 on are in the top 8 on most strikeouts over the last 3 games. And the team he's playing now is kind of middle of the pack. So they're a little bit less strikeouty. A 7.5 line. But that 9 and 10 last 2 starts, it does make me nervous. But I'd rather trust the AI than risk something that is clear as day, as Colin Ray's he's only gotten 68 and 69 pitches in his first 2 starts. Oh man, this is tough. But then we have Sale. Sale always has strikeout stuff. Arizona is a top 5 least strikeouty team. His line opened at 6.5 and now it's at 5.5, so it's slightly easier for him to hit. He's gonna get the he's gonna get the pitch count. So they're not pulling him at 80 pitches. They're not pulling him at 75 pitches. He's gonna get his pitches. And when you see a number down here, like, and this is not the first start ever, and they have a 30 plus strikeout rate against us either side, that's massive. So what this says here, just to go over this stat again, this says if he versed a team that was only right-handed batters and he pitched a complete game, full 9 innings, he would finish with 13.5 strikeouts. And this says if he versed a team of only lefties and he pitched a full 9 innings, he would finish with 7.7 strikeouts. Both of those easily cover the 5.5 line. I think even though Arizona is a top 5 least strikeouty team, the last 2 times he versed Arizona, last season in April, he got 6 on 5.1, and then in July, he got 9 in 5.1 innings. Man. I feel like I trust him more to hit his line than I trust Sale more because I know he's got strikeout stuff more than Colin, who we don't know how many pitches he's going to get, and then Senga, who is versing a top 5 but also has missed 3 straight times in his 4 starts so far this season. And I'm just too scared. I'm just too afraid of a guy going under on a pitcher that in the last 2 starts have totaled 19 Ks in 2 starts. Even though he hits the trifecta, I need to see him not hit 9 or 10 in a row. Or 9 or 10 strikeouts, 3 in a row. So I'm going to hold off. This is a monitor game. We're not going to bet on Yamamoto. We're just going to monitor it. We're not going to bet on Colin. We're going to monitor it. But the trust is in Sale. So even though he's versing a team that traditionally is a low strikeout team, Chris Sale has had success on striking them out. He has success on striking out non-strikeouty teams. He's got a lot of good strikeout stuff, and his line is typically a lot higher than 5.5 on average. It actually opened at 6.5, as I mentioned. So even though the accuracy is not where we want it to be, I think out of all of these, I trust him the most to get 6 out of all of the ones we looked at. So that's what we're going to be rocking and rolling with. I'm 99% confident we're not going to find him at 4.5 anywhere, but I'll check just in case. Actually, I'm going to check everybody here. Yeah, he's at 3.5. Kind of going through everybody we looked over. Yeah, 5.5 on every book but FanDuel. FanDuel has 6.5, so don't touch this on FanDuel. So yeah, for everyone out there who ignores everything I say and just fast forwards to the end because you don't actually care about winning more than what you're losing, I'm going to force this graphic up on the screen again so you see that our MLB spread predictor has been crushing it since we updated it 3 days ago. So through 3 days, it has not lost a single play that has an AI probability projection of, I believe it's 63.98 or higher. So everything above that probability projection is undefeated through 3 days. We're going to continue to monitor it. Make sure you're in Discord paying attention. And good luck with everything, and we'll see you guys next week. Deuces.